Renee Boston, one half of Maryland's premier husband and wife legal team. I'm joined today by my husband, Marcus Boston.
Hello.
Today we want to talk to you briefly about the insurance claim process. Now, as you know, we get questions submitted from time to time from viewers from our YouTube page and also on our website. So Marcus actually had this question come in today, and he wanted to present it in the form of a video. So what actually was the question that came in?
Well, actually, it was a question about the initial claims process, about what happens during that initial workup from the adjuster's standpoint, because a lot of times people don't realize is that there's a lot going on behind the scenes when you make a phone call and you actually start the claims process going.
So what would the initial call or the initial contact entail?
Well, what it would be is that when we're going to use, for example, a car accident,
Okay.
what would happen is that as soon as a person, either the injury victim or actually the other at-fault driver, but as soon as they pick up the phone and they call to actually report that an accident has happened, that initial phone call is going to be, usually that's that first level of contact, and that call is going to come into the claims center, and someone is actually going to be on the other line, and they're actually, what their job is to get as much information about the accident as possible. So for example, name, where did it take place, were there any injuries, if there's any medical issues, just a lot of initial workup type of information, is to gather as much information as possible.
Now, after the claims department gets all the information, at what point is there an adjuster assigned, or at what point does that part take place?
Right. Okay, what happens next is after the claims department, they've gathered a lot of information regarding the initial claim, then the claim will move down the line to the actual claims adjuster standpoint. So it will be then assigned a claims adjuster. Now, what a lot of people don't know or don't understand is that depending on the type of injury that is reported, that will determine what type of adjuster gets your claim or gets the claim.
What do you mean by type of adjuster?
Well, for example, if you are in a serious accident and there's a lot of serious injuries or even possibly death, then more than likely you will get what we call a senior claims adjuster on your claim, and that's someone who has a lot of experience with dealing with multiple parties, serious injuries, a lot of medical reports, things of that nature. So that adjuster will be a lot better versed in the process than maybe someone who just got started in the process.
Okay, so what actually does the adjuster do?
Well, the adjuster's role is to try to get the claim worked out as best as possible. And if you've read our book, What Auto Insurance Companies Do Not Want You to Know, we go into a lot more depth regarding the actual adjuster. But the mindset coming into something like this, what you've got to understand is the adjuster has a job to do. And that adjuster's job essentially is to save the insurance company money, because the adjuster has to analyze everything, and insurance is a big business, and that's how they make money. They take in premiums, but they don't want to pay out as much as possible, because if they paid out everything, then they wouldn't make any money.
So with the adjuster, would it be strange if the person who was the victim of the accident to receive a phone call shortly thereafter, or a few days after, maybe a week or so after the accident?
No, that's not strange. As a matter of fact, that is what's going to happen. After the call comes in to the initial call center, the adjuster is assigned. One of the jobs of the adjuster is to go through and to actually look to see, was the policy in effect? Is there coverage? Are there any exclusions? And once that's done, then the adjuster is going to continue to try to gather more information regarding the process. So it wouldn't be strange for the adjuster to reach out to parties of the case and actually call them and try to find out as much information as possible. See if they have an attorney, if they're represented by an attorney, and things of that nature.
Now, is it, because I've also heard from people who say, well, I was in an accident on one day, and a few days later, the adjuster for the other guy's insurance company called and made me an offer. Should I take that, or should they take that, or is it something to consider?
Well, again, each case is different, and there are a lot of factors that come into play when trying to determine whether you should settle your case. And for this particular show, I mean, that would really be outside of of this show with that question. But I know we do get that question a lot through our website and through emails. But really, a specific analysis has to be done of that particular person's situation. Knowing when to settle your case or when not to settle your case, that is it's a very difficult process at times, because you've got to take a lot of things into consideration, especially if you are represented with an attorney. Your attorney will go over the pros and cons of settling your case right now versus trying to go forward to trial. You have to take into consideration things such as, what are your long-term injuries? What is your medical treatment going to look like? What is any expected future medical treatment that you may need? There's a lot of things that you got to take into consideration before determining, yes, I should take this initial offer, or no, I shouldn't take this particular offer.
Well, we're just about out of time for this particular segment. So, Marcus, are there any lasting questions or lasting thoughts that you want to leave with the viewers?
Well, I alluded to earlier, you can request our book at our website, which is bostonlawllc.com. When you get to the website, you'll see a graphic there for a free book, which is what auto insurance companies do not want you to know. Go ahead, if you are a Maryland resident or if you've been injured in Maryland, request a book. And the book is not boring. I mean, we wrote the book in such a way that it is friendly, it's consumer friendly. You don't need a law degree to actually understand what the book is talking about. And it will go into more depth regarding the claims process, things that you need to take into consideration before even getting involved in this process. And in addition to that, do you even need a lawyer in the first place?
That's a good question as well. And you can find that book, among other books, as well as other videos and other articles regarding car accidents or medical malpractice or any other injury type work from our website, which is bostonlawllc.com. Again, that's bostonlawllc.com. Now, if you also have any questions, or if we didn't answer your question on this particular video, or if you can't find the answers to questions that you're looking for, feel free to submit a question on our website. You can use the Contact Us form, which is right on the tab at the top of the website, or you can send us an email at info@bostonlawllc.com. And again, that's info, INFO, at bostonlawllc.com. Again, I'm Renee Boston.
And I'm Marcus Boston.
Thank you for watching BTV, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.